Come in. Oh,
Hello, Joseph, is it?
hi, Dr. Zapata. Yes, Joe. How are you?
I'm well. What seems to be the problem, Joe?
Well, I'm having difficulty drawing from imagination.
Oh, Joseph, just so you know, that's totally normal. Why don't you tell me a little more about your problem? Is it that you can only draw from imagination if you're completely alone?
Doc, I can't ever draw from imagination.
What about if you're completely relaxed?
When I'm totally relaxed, I can't imagine a thing.
I see. Joseph, it's important to know that even with severe cases like this, there's always hope. I can prescribe an experimental therapy called Form from Imagination.
Form from imagination?
It's early days, but clinical trials are extremely promising. Why don't you try this for 6 months and then check back in with me?
Okay, I'll do whatever it takes. Did you just draw this?
Oh yeah.
Wow, it's amazing. Hey, Doc, do you ever have trouble drawing from imagination?
Oh no.
You wouldn't. I mean, you do this.
That's right.
Wow.
Form from Imagination is an experimental therapy and is not yet approved for use by the FDA. Do not use Form from Imagination if you are already taking any prescriptions for drawing from reference, working side size, or tracing photos you didn't even take. Stop taking Form from Imagination if you experience any of these side effects: loss of interest in your personal projects, megalomaniacal self-confidence, hallucinations, unless they're the kind you're hoping for, drawing better than Steven Zapata, or feelings that purchasing the course was enough and you don't really need to do the exercises. Call your doctor if you have stiff gestures, flat forms, or boring ideas to address a possible life-threatening condition. Full sketchbooks have been reported with Form from Imagination and medicines like it. Other risks include long-term art careers, too many clients, and being worth more than you're charging for. Call your doctor today and ask about Form from Imagination. Cool it. Just cool it. Just calm down. It doesn't have to be that way. Don't make it a big deal. Don't get distracted like, oh man, here I am, he's streaming now and I gotta react to what he's saying, and don't get caught up in the star power. You know what I mean? That's not what this is about. I know that it's very exciting to see me and to hear my incredible insights and my commentary, but what you need to do is you need to draw. You need to get to drawing instead of getting caught up with that stuff. So put away the little part of you that likes to be a fanboy and likes to get excited, and honor yourself now for a little bit this morning. Do some work that you can look back on and be proud of. That doesn't mean it has to be great, just means you need to do it so that when you're laying in bed tonight and you're running through the long list of reasons for why you hate yourself, you can at least say, but you know what? I drew a line today. I wanted to do that, didn't I? And it was in no thanks to that sycophant, Steven Zapata, that obsequious, utterly unctuous, clout-chasing bastard named Steven Zapata. No thanks to him. It was all thanks to me. And I want that for you. I want you to be able to go to bed with that kind of peace in your heart. Let me just move my stuff into place here. I want this out of my way over there. Yeah, you go over there. Hello, Nick. Hello, BK. Hello, Jared Primo. Hello, Austin Light. Tobias, Gabriel, Tobias, Ivan, Miss Matchman, Zane, Partho. Hello. Nick, you will be missed, but sometimes we need to work. It's true. We're on marker paper today. We are on, what is this? We're on Bienfang Graphics 360 marker paper today, so that all of you know. So that when someone bursts in here and goes, what paper, what paper, what paper, what paper, someone, some kind soul in there can answer and say marker paper. Hey, Hubs. What's going on? Hey, it's Magda. What's up? Fan is definitely on today. I was up at 6 a.m. today, and already at 6 a.m. it was 85 degrees in New York City at 6 a.m. So thought we were supposed to be out of the woods on the heat wave thing today, but it looks like that is not the case. Still plenty of heat. Some people can never be at peace unless they know the kind of paper you're drawing on. It seems that way. I understand though. A lot of people, when they're starting out, when their work is not looking the way that they want it to, they want to believe it's about the paper and the pencil, and not about the fact that I have not stopped drawing in 16 years through an onslaught of personal, societal, and financial tragedies. They don't want to think that that's what it'll take to be utterly unstoppable at drawing. We all wish that. And you know what? Honestly, I hope for them it is that. I hope they just get the paper that I use and then they're better than me. I only want an easier life for everybody. But drawing seems to resist that. It's not up to me. It's up to drawing. Her Majesty Drawing seems to prefer that you utterly prostrate yourself before her for years on end. Stop drawing to make a course about drawing. That's truly the only reason I've taken a break over the past 16-ish years or something like that. Besides obvious reasons like being abroad on vacation or something like that. I do tend to draw on vacation as well, though. Just not much. But I'm also usually going to art museums on vacation. Or I'm going to places that are very interesting design-wise to expand my design toolkit. I'm just starting however I want this morning. I'm making random shapes with some markers and then turning them into something. Just practicing improvisation. Good morning, welcome. What is your opinion on classical art ateliers? Do you think they can be too focused on site size, method, and measuring? Absolutely. Absolutely. It depends on which one you go to, but it just depends on your goals. If your only goal, I say only like it's a small goal, but it's a very difficult goal. If your goal is to be like a still life painter, there's probably no better idea than going to an atelier, because that's the kind of skill that can be taught just straight down the barrel with a teacher over your shoulder being like, that's not the right value based on the thing in the shadow box. That's not the right value based on the thing in the shadow box. It's like, it's very straightforward to learn it that way. But if your goals are imaginative, then what you learn at an atelier is still useful, right? Because they give a good education in the basics of light and structure, but it will never be complete. It will never be enough. You'll need to do your own independent study in imagination and composition and design, which basically no atelier teaches, especially design. Never heard of an atelier teaching design. Design seems to be specifically only in design schools and under art directorial critique. Is it normal to feel embarrassed to be an artist? It makes me feel childish sometimes. Yeah, I mean, that's not your fault though. That's the fault of society. That's, well, you know, it's, okay, so wait a second. So it's both our fault and society's fault that artists struggle. And then because we struggle, the childish feeling to saying you're an artist or admitting you're an artist or coming out there and at a party saying I'm an artist, that is the product of the tacit assumption in society that if you are an artist, things are not going well, right? Everybody, if you meet someone at a party and they say I'm an artist, the gut move for most people is to be like, you know, like you don't assume they're doing great and making money and supporting themselves. You assume a struggle. So that assumption is what makes people kind of treat you different, makes people act different about art, and makes people shy away from admitting to being an artist. So it's that sort of configuration of societal things. It's not about you. So don't be hard on yourself. Don't do anything you're uncomfortable with, and screw everybody. You know, me personally, I am a quote-unquote successful artist. You know, I get to make a living off of this. I'm quite comfortable, but I usually lie when I meet new people. Like, I don't tell my barber I'm an artist, for example. If they ask me what I do, I say I'm in marketing, which is not a complete lie, right? Because I do work for advertising companies and things like that. And you know, there's been months in my life where I've sat in advertising agency offices doing drawings for them. So it's not a complete lie, but it's just like, we don't need to get into this, you know? And people tend not to ask because they actually care. It's just like, people ask, what do you do? Just because it's like compulsive. It's just like a normal thing to ask. So I tend to lie, you know? I tend not to get into it. If they burrow down, I'll tell the truth, but I always try to play a little game with them so that they understand off the bat that that I'm not what they think they are. That I'm not what they think I am. Like usually if I come out and say I'm an artist or an art teacher or something like that, if they say something like, oh, that must be great. Do you like it? I like to go to, no, it sucks, but the pay's great. And I shrugs. That way I like inverse the situation. I sneak in there early on that I'm successful and sort of subvert their expectations. Because just like, it's so boring to be caught in a conversation where these people are just like barely holding back their tongue and, you know, waiting to apologize to you for how difficult your life is. It's like, shut up. Why is this not in focus? I suppose it just looks not in focus. I've been avoiding joining your live streams these days because you always draw when I have to do something else. And that leaves a guilt in my gut that I should have been drawing with Steven instead. Oh, come on. I'm not... If there's one thing I'm trying to avoid, it's adding more FOMO to the world. Don't let me or anyone else give you any FOMO. And certainly not me. I will take it as a personal failure if I add more FOMO to the world. So don't do that. I need to be bigger. I want to be this big. It's that simple on stream. I can just say, I want to be this big. You don't get to do that in real life. If I could choose how big to be in real life, I'd be tiny. I'd be a very small person. I'd become the size of an aphid. I wouldn't do anything different. I would just sit around my house at aphid size. Hey Steve, how does health and fitness play into your artistic life? And is it a priority for you? Yeah, I mean, not a priority. I'm not like a fitness guy, but if you've been an artist as long as me, at some point you will need to grapple with the fact that you need to keep yourself healthy if you want to do it for as long as you can. So it's not a priority in the way that it would be for someone who like loves lifting or something like that. But I consciously, you know, I tend to think long game with everything in life. So you got to eat well and you got to get some exercise, you know, because if you're low energy, if you're tired all the time, if your body just plagues you and stuff like that, it will incline you to not draw, of course. So you've got to watch out for that stuff. Maybe a goblin. Let's do a goblin. If you were doing this exercise, would you feel trapped by the shape you put down? Why? Who are you trying to please? Hey Janosh, how are you, man? Janosh. Everybody go check out Janosh. He has a much more useful YouTube channel than I do. I just like to talk about the mind. Janosh actually teaches stuff. I'm kidding, of course. Calm down. I'm extremely arrogant, and I believe that I'm providing the most value of anyone in the world. Don't worry. Is that a DSLR or RED camera you're using? RED? Like a cinema RED? God, I wish. I would totally film my stupid drawings with like a $30,000 Alexa Mini if I could. No problem. It's probably more than that. How much, anyone here a cinematographer nerd? How much does an Alexa Mini cost? Or the new, whatever Alexa's new camera is. I think the Mini LF was their most popular one. It's probably like $90,000 or something like that, right? If I had, I'd totally film my stupid drawings with the cinema camera. No, it's a Lumix GH5. That's what I film with. Hey, Steven, I failed to make it as a pro artist, but still feel the need to draw. How do I continue knowing I might never succeed? The idea of being a pro artist is a societal construct, and pro artists like to lie and deceive. So if you're basing what it means to be a pro artist and stuff like that off of like what you see on ArtStation or Instagram or something like that, let me let you in on a little surprise. Oh, crap. I just saw the title of my stream. No subversive comments. That's right. Well, I run the stream, so it's my show. So let's get subversive. The people you see on places like ArtStation and Instagram, the more they post, the less professional they are. And anybody can go on ArtStation and say they are a freelance concept artist. It's 98% of the people who have tagged themselves as that on the internet are liars. They have never done a job. They've done one job. They do 2 jobs a year. And the rest of the time they're unemployed or they work a different job and they just don't talk about it because they're chasing the clout of that title. It's not like being an architect where there's any sort of licensing board or something like that. And they're going to prove that these people are a professional concept artist, something like that. Like, no, there's nothing like that. It's all lies. So do not drink the Kool-Aid on what people are saying about themselves, about being a professional artist or something like that. And you may be surprised to find, if you could actually get insight on these people and the people that you are drawing these invidious comparisons to, that even though you have failed to be a professional artist or something like that, if you could actually compare your schedule and their schedule, you very well might draw just as often as they do, and you might do as many gigs as they do. So don't believe anyone. Lots of your favorite artists, lots of artists who have millions of subscribers on Instagram or something like that, or followers on Instagram, they have another job. They can't make money off of their art. They just have a following, or they can't bear the pain of being a professional artist, so they just do it as a hobby and they have huge followings. So don't assume anything about that stuff, and don't be hard on yourself. The life of being a professional artist, someone who does it day in, day out and makes all their money off of it, is just not for most people. It simply isn't. And most people would be happier anyway, just doing it calmly and happily when they actually feel like it and when the desire comes up. So you need to deprogram the grit culture, societal culture thing that's like, oh, well, if you love something, you've got to do it as your title. It has to be your real job. It's like, who says who, right? And stop believing what people are saying about themselves on the internet and stuff like that with no transparency, and just let yourself enjoy what you're doing. Again, the act of art making is not about what you achieve with it, what your career becomes. It's not about clout. People make it about that for themselves, which is an interesting choice and one that should be taken on with great caution. But it simply isn't about that, not at core. And I think it's unhealthy to be out of balance with that stuff. The most important thing is that you feel a need to create art. And if you do not honor that, you will experience an artistic and creative constipation that will eventually ruin your life. It'll kill you. And the longer that you wait to just make a place for your art that is happy and calm in your life, the worse that creative constipation is going to be. And if you can clear a space for that creativity, it doesn't matter if you never make $1 off of it in your life. you will have prevented a sort of spiritual sickness that will come to consume you if you do nothing about it. I personally, just to expand on those topics, I personally, if someone tells me they're a concept artist, or they say like on their profiles, I'm a concept artist, my go-to, my starting position is, I don't believe you. No, you're not. You could do something easily to prove that to me, but I doubt it. And I also, when people tell me I want to be a concept artist or illustrator, my go-to starting position is, no, you don't. I don't believe you. You've never done the job. You've never buckled down and like imitated the job for yourself. You have no idea what the job is. In fact, you probably have completely erroneous assumptions about what the job is. And you can say that as easily as anything else, right? The same way that I could right now say, I want to switch careers and be a dentist. It's like, you can't say I'm lying, right? But I know nothing about what it means to be a dentist. So when people come at me with that, my starting point is, I don't believe you. I don't believe you want to be a concept artist. And I, as much as that may feel real to you, if you worked your first job, I think you'd probably find you don't want to do it after your first job. It's a weird job. It's a very specific job. And the odds that your creativity fits into that job's box are very low. Very, very low. I don't like how dark this red is. It makes it very hard to see my sketch. Let me do another goblin with a lighter color. How's this one? Yeah, that could work. Oh, and naturally, this marker is dying. Don't worry, I'm breathing out only on the alcohol marker. It's fine. Learned that trick from one of my teachers from longest ago, one of my oldest teachers, Tony. Thanks for teaching me that trick, Tony. No thanks for having an honest conversation with me where you told me that I don't have the spark and I'll never be a professional artist. Screw you, Tony. Did you ever try to design and sell t-shirts? No. I don't really need to anyway, because if you're a popular artist online, people will steal your art to put on t-shirts without you having to do anything. So someone else will handle it for me. I don't really think the t-shirt market is for me, you know. I don't know how many people want to walk around with a sketch of a goblin on their chest. I never really have been interested in any of the traditional markets for art like that. Like, I don't do tattoos or anything like that. I've always had different goals in mind. Melvin, good morning, Steven. Currently plotting them shadows on that compound cube. Slow and steady, Mel. Slow and steady. Go nice and slow and let yourself unravel the logic of it. It's an important part of being able to experience the form as real, not the getting it right. The important part is having those gears turn in your head where you're like, right, if this line is on this plane and light is coming in this way, and if I was the light source, I wouldn't be able to see this, so that would be cast into shadow. That kind of rational thinking is what you're trying to unlock. Yo, Steven, you keep mentioning the modeling factors. I'm not sure what that means. Could you elaborate a little, please? All right, sure. I'll take the easy setup. Oh, I wish my... I failed to do the right audio device again. Let's do that. Close this. Do. We go together like rama lama 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 jinging dong dong. Remember forever. Shoo-bop the-abba-da dee-ba-da-boop ba-doo. Chang chang changity chang choo-bop. We'll always be together. Wahoo! Yeah! Alright. If you get the course, if you were to get the course, you would get a deep explanation of the modeling factors. So just to answer your long question short, the modeling factors is a list of optical phenomena that are what produce the feeling of three-dimensionality on an object. Different artists, different schools have different lists, you know, they use a different list of the modeling factors. My list of modeling factors is, depending on your interpretation, 12 or 10 modeling factors. So I go, in my course, I do a deep dive into that. So here we have the unit on the modeling factors. There's modeling factor explanations for the sphere, the cube, cylinders, and others. And there's also a quiz on the modeling factors. And let's see if I set up audio right.
See
so
the specular reflection.
Here,
notice that it's not at the same point.
I list them
ambient
all
light.
in great
There's
detail.
a few other special effects we could identify, but they generally
I can't hear what
don't
I'm
make
saying,
the
but I'm
list
assuming
because
it's
they're very
something very
similar to
useful.
an existing modeling factor. For example, the Fresnel effect feels very similar
So those
to
are the
specular
modeling
reflection.
factors.
But
and
this
then
list is a
across
good starting point.
20 or so minutes,
wanna be
I
clear, though.
explain each
The
one in
artistic
detail.
Seeing from its view would go directly to the surface. The area where the surface normal projected outward would go directly to the stronger the closer the wall gets to the ball, and dimmer the further away it gets. Notice as well that the reflected light...
Obviously, I can't go into great detail about it right now because look how long it takes me when it's as edited down and scripted as is possible. So it would take me too long to explain, but you get the cores. You get the cores. You get the cores. You get the cores. Link to the course is in the description. Bye, Magda. Thanks for being here, Magda. You the best. Oh, I fucked up my hair. That's all right. Just restructuring this decoration on his helmet so it has a better negative shape. You seem very into traditional mediums, to say the least. Have you ever tried to get into gallery fine art? I think you mentioned you're in New York, so I imagine there's lots of big galleries close by. No, I haven't. I mean, the fine art market isn't really built around art like this. The fine art market is built around different stuff, you know, more attention-grabbing, salacious, relevant, scandalous, things like that. They don't really like drawings, the fine art market, especially not the New York one. It's just not interesting, you know. No one who's going to spend, they want a really high price point, you know. They want to sell something for hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars, and no one gets excited when their art advisor is like, well, I have a beautiful new drawing available. People really only get excited about old drawings, like by the old masters and you know, particular famous drawing artists after World War II, and drawings with history behind them, you know, some sort of story. And those are really the only ones that sell super well. So no, I've never been interested in going into fine art like that. I also began my career as a commercial illustrator, and you know, I'm not really willing to say that I'm not a commercial illustrator completely, right? Like these days I just do my own thing and teach, but something could come up that would tempt me to return to commercial illustration, and that is in direct conflict with fine art. So because I started as a commercial illustrator, it never really seemed, being a fine artist or doing fine art didn't really line up, you know. Besides, I wanted to do something cooler than that. I wanted to do this. This is what I wanted to do. I'm not interested in being a fine artist because it's just a different market. You know, it's just people get used to the paintings that you sold last year, and then they just want more of those because that's an investment and it builds a body of work. So it really just puts new market forces on you. Being a gallery artist doesn't mean you're really... Who cares about being a fine artist? I always wanted to be a free artist. I wanted to have a place in my life that made sense to just draw whatever I want. And by my personal reckoning, I have achieved that better with what you are experiencing right now than I ever would being betrothed to my agent or what a gallery wants me to paint next so that they can sell it for such and some. That's not real freedom. What I'm doing right now sure feels like freedom. There's no dates, there's no schedules, and I really get to draw whatever I want with no concern for market forces. And I could go do whatever I want tomorrow. I could go make a comic book, make, God, whatever. It doesn't matter, you know? Slot anything into the list and I could go do it. Good morning, Boxer Wing. That's interesting that you think that. I mean, there are plenty of illustrators that bridge that gap, i.e. Donato, Sterling Hunley. Yeah, I mean, you can do it in a very particular situation, and I hope I don't need to remind you that I am not Donato or Sterling Hunley, but the problem is that for most people, they will always be in direct conflict, and I hope the way the market incentives work here is quite clear. If you do gallery art, if you do fine art paintings and illustration at the same time, it will always keep the prices for your paintings down. Because if you're also a professional illustrator, anyone could just like... Do you get what I'm saying? You can, generally, you can only get as much for your fine art painting as you could for your illustrations. Because if someone saw a fine art painting of yours and you're really a real, you know, a commercial illustrator where you're doing the jobs that get offered, let's say you were trying to sell a gallery painting for $100,000. Nobody pays that for illustrations, right? Even the people at the top of their game, if a publishing company pays $3,000 for a cover, they're still getting $3,000 for a cover, you know? And if they've moved up because they're legendary, it's a bit more, right? But people tend to get flat rates for that stuff, and then they try to sell the painting on the secondary market. So that hurts your fine art career, because anyone who is appropriately motivated, they could say, all right, well, I'm not going to pay $50,000 for the painting that I like. I'm just going to go commission them as a commercial illustrator to make basically the same painting for a fraction of the price. It's a problem. I don't know if you mind to answer, but how old are you? I'm 32. There you go. Now, I always assume when people ask that, it's so they could be like, all right, he's 32. He's that good at 32. I'm 25. I got to get that good in 7 years. It's like, don't do that. You're just driving yourself crazy. It doesn't matter how old you are. And it's not... The thing with art is that it really doesn't matter how good you are at whatever age. It's like, no one cares how good you are at what age, right? And the child prodigy artists who do photoreal paintings at 6 and get on the news, it's like, they wash out, you know? How many of those guys do you know actually are in the art world now? It's like, you make good work or you don't. And that's all that matters. Love from India, Stephen. Love from New York. Thank you, Partho. I can scarcely believe that the last traditional artist for real is already 32. Yeah, I know, right? I'll be dead soon, guys, so appreciate me while I'm here. Once I pass, traditional drawing is truly dead. It's all over after that. So enjoy while I'm around. Once I'm gone, you enter the time of AI doubt, where forever, every piece of art that you see that a person claims they made, you'll always be like, did they though? Did they? Did they make it? This is the last place where you can feel safe, that it's morally right to just enjoy someone's artwork, because you see me making it. You see that it's pure and beautiful, and of course that matters. And I'm the best, and obviously a virtuoso, and you have excellent taste if you love my work and you tell your friends about it. And there's nobody but me. So unfollow everyone on Instagram, unfollow everyone on ArtStation. And just stay where you know things are safe, right here. In the Steven Zapata art stream. Some say he's the best. Some say he's the best. Others don't need to say it because it's obvious. Stephen, thank you for saving art. We will remember you and your art streams always. Thank you, Stephen, for saving art. Your drawings changed the world. Scary goblins and spooky monsters inspire children around the world. And more than kids, they inspire adults with big brains and PhDs. Thank you so much, Stephen. We will now pass around the sketchbooks to begin the ritual of drawing. My mom hates those jokes. She's like, Iho, you cannot compare yourself to God like that. And then I'm like, you're burning my dinner, Mom. Focus up. I need my water bottle. Give me a second. Hi, Mauricio. Oh God, my camera. Come on, camera. There we go. Least megalomaniacal artist? Facts. Facts. Such a beautiful drawing. Thank you. Thank you. Most people are here for the singing, but it is nice when someone likes the drawings. My fan is blowing my paper every time I lift my hand. Hey Steven, do you keep every piece of art you make, like these for example, or do you find yourself getting rid of things often? Most stuff like this I wind up keeping. I have huge piles of drawings that just take up tremendous amounts of space in my home. But I do tend to throw out like my figure studies, like just drawings from photos and things like that pile up over months and months. I usually just throw those in the trash. But I try to keep as much of my imaginative work as possible so that I have a record of the progression of my skills and my ideas. I do, now that I think about it, I do lose some of it though. I do you know, I'll think some sketch pad like this, for example, is only figure drawings. And, you know, when I'm running out of room at home, I'll be like, I gotta get rid of some stuff. And I'll just like do a quick skim through and I'll be like, it's all figure drawings. And I'll toss it in the trash and I'll lose stuff like this. But that's another nice thing about at least doing this kind of stuff on YouTube and things like that. That leaves a permanent record. So even if I don't keep these drawings, there's at least the record of their process. Maybe not their totally finished version, but their process, and you get to see it get made, and that'll just be there forever. And that's nice. Can you draw a human torso, please? Nah. I'll do it. It's one of the most common things I draw, so I'll do it some other time, without a doubt. But in order to maintain my sanity on these streams, I do not do requests. I just draw whatever the heck I want, moment to moment. If I made it a norm to do requests, I would just stop streaming. You guys would never see me again. Have you ever taken a long break from drawing? Not really. But I don't think that matters, you know? If you need a long break, take it. People have different relationships to drawing, you know? I don't find drawing stressful. Like anybody else, I find the stuff around drawing stressful, like careers and things like that. But drawing itself, I don't find stressful. I find it energizing, meditative. I feel peaceful after I draw, while I draw. So no, I haven't really taken any long breaks. But if you have a different experience of drawing and you find you need to take a long break, just do it. We must carry ourselves lightly in this life. Don't put so many rules and strictures on yourself. Learn to trust yourself. Learn to trust what you feel you need, what your body says you need. Don't worry about how other people do it. This is not weightlifting. You don't need to have someone who's more experienced than you barking into your ear what the right or wrong way to do things is. And there is no perfect form in drawing. This is not exercise. This is not weightlifting. This is not running a business. It is unlike other things. So learn to trust yourself. How should I deal with failure? I failed a client in 2020 and haven't been able to finish and post a single piece to my online portfolio ever since, and I do want to keep an art career. If it's specifically the fact that you failed a client that's holding you back, forget about it. Absolutely forget about it. Forget it ever happened. Abandon the memory. Destroy it. Remember, in art, in every part of art, your career, your discipline, the stuff that you draw, everything, all the way down, for every question, for every fork in the road, for every juncture, the wrong answer is always the choice, the mentality, the outlook, or the perspective that makes you draw less. That is always the wrong choice, and the better choice is always the one that lets you draw or makes you draw more. So there is no, remove the business mind of it, remove the career mind, remove the like, oh, I'm a bad professional artist because I failed this client. I should have been as gritty as artist ABCD, who all of their clients love them and all of that. That perseveration, that annoying ratiocination is preventing you from drawing. So any sort of self-excoriation about whether or not you're a good professional artist is only doing you harm. It's not making you more gritty or more, you know, like you're supposed to be on some business podcast or something like that. It's screwing you. So the correct choice is instead the more arrogant choice, to simply forget you ever made the mistake and forget about that client. Who cares? They didn't like it. What are they? The best taste art people in the world? Their opinion on art is the end all be all. Their deadline was perfectly chosen. Their project manager is such a genius of picking deadlines that they knew exactly how long it should take to do this. Screw them. And I don't care who they are. I don't care if they're Disney, Wizards. Who cares? Who cares? Forget about it and move on and get back to drawing. What are your thoughts on the color green? It's an inferior color. It's just not as good as red. Hate green paintings. And anyone who does green paintings, I don't want to talk to you. Disgusting. Abjectly disgusting. What about frogs, Steven? Frogs are disgusting things to draw and paint. If you draw frogs, there's no hope for you. You're obviously not going to have a good career. In fact, the fact that you're even interested in drawing frogs says a lot about you. It says a lot about you. And honestly, if you like drawing frogs, it's like you get the course, dude. You get the course. Drawing is so fun. I mean, how fun is drawing? Drawing's the best. Mitchell says, course is dense, but in a good way. Go get it for sure. It is extremely dense. I think most people are not, they don't get it. They don't know just how dense it is. It's like, it's very long, and it's all on script. You know, I pre-wrote basically every word I say, except for module 4. So there's no hemming and hawing. It's all edited down. Each video, and there's like 60-ish in there, and that number is only going to go up. Each video is like 10 to 20 minutes of just like info dump. That's very dense. It ain't for the faint of heart. I gotta start doing I have some supplemental materials I'm gonna add. I think I'm gonna start working on those tomorrow. That's the plan. Gonna address some questions that have come up in the community. Just do a couple quick digital demos and add them to the course to explain a couple things. Now let's do a new sketch. Whoa. Bye, Mitchell. What does an ideal day look like for you when someone sits down to do your course? It's for sure on my radar. I explain in the first videos in the course what I think your schedule should be. Everyone's ideal day should be different, probably. So it's pretty generalized. What I say is you don't spend more than half your allotted drawing time doing the course. So if you have an hour, you spend a half hour, the first half hour, ideally, the first half hour drawing your stuff, drawing things creatively that you like, and then you spend the second part of your drawing time doing exercises, the stuff that's in the course. And it's, you know, it's just whatever your time is. So if you have 8 hours a day every day, it's 4 hours being creative, 4 hours studying. If it's you have 1 hour a month, it's half an hour. It's half an hour being creative, half an hour studying for that 1/2 hour a month. People have different lives. People have different lives. Where do I want to stick this? Maybe a very long face? Hello, Gamo. Hello, Gamo. Gamo, 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 Gamo. Gamo, 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 Gamo. Can you draw something with chains? Nah. Well, we'll see if it comes up natural. But I generally don't take requests. Apologies. It's just for my mental health. I can't be doing whatever the stream throws at me. I'm definitely not one of those kinds of artists who needs to be told what to draw. I just let my hand flow. Let's try to make a bit more of a noticeable form structure to this one. I need some lighter color markers for these kinds of exercises. I should have done that blob with this. Are caricature artists valid then? No. No. I thought we explained already that the only valid kind of artist is me. And I don't mean an artist named Steven Zapata. There could theoretically be another Steve Zapata out there. There is. He works at Riot. But it's me. It's me. It's the consciousness that is me embodied in this body that has psychological continuity with me, with this guy right here. I'm the only valid artist, and everybody knows that. And no one's practice is more pure than mine. No one's practice is more morally right than mine. And every other kind of art you may go looking for, it's just like, you'll see, you compare it to mine, you'll be like, oh, that's right. It's stepping away in terms of purity. It's becoming everything everybody else does, you know, not, you know, being influenced by market forces, needing to have a real job, you know, not drawing whatever they want without any sort of compromise. It's all, it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's defiling their soul. That's right. It's ensuring that their time in the afterlife is spent in ever more agony. And you'll see as you go, look through the world and explore other artists. You'll come to realize, right. He's the only person doing it right. Everybody else is a sort of a sellout, a big sellout. Thank you, Stephen, for showing us the way to be a true artist. We will remember your work for all eternity. We launch shuttles into space in your name. We will spread the good word of drawing. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get a white pencil, see if it goes down. It usually doesn't on marker paper, but just to test. So let me fight against the really dark markers I'm using. Come back to me. Come. That's my hand. All right. Yeah, I could do something. Let's keep modeling it up with black, and then we'll add that at the end. I just got here. Am I late? Yes, you are, Kai. Yes, you are late. Yeah, we don't appreciate your lateness. Everybody else here respects the class enough to show up on time. And I don't know what you've got going on outside of this stream, but I'm willing to go out on a limb and say that it's not as important as this stream, right? Yeah, so we're gonna need you to be a team player, all right? If you've got some sick family members, or if you're going through some mental health problems, put those things in their proper place. Show up to stream first and on time, and then you go help your family. All right? Everybody needs to get their priorities right. Put your priorities in their proper place. You put their priorities in their proper place. I'm supposed to be editing a PhD dissertation? Not right now. Not right now. Right now, you're right where you're supposed to be. You're watching me. You're contributing views and likes. This is the more important part of your day. You do your dissertation when you're tired at night, right before bed. Rest of the time, you're locked in. You're locked into this stream. The rest of YouTube doesn't exist. Everything else doesn't exist. You just watch the stream. You draw, maybe you don't draw. You get the course. Later, you do your dissertation. Later, you do your dissertation. Where are you from, Steven? I was born in Nueva York. I'm from Queens, New York, in case my accent doesn't give it away. Joseph says, getting to watch your stream while taking a breakfast break from my stream is a disorienting experience. I get what you're saying, buddy. It's like I was typing to you in your stream, and now you're typing to me in my stream. Stream life. Wow. I'm just gonna press very hard in the dark accents on this face. Very important to press very hard on your dark accents. That way it opens up the value range, makes everything else look lighter by comparison. Hey Steven, have you done any master studies recently? Yeah, just some recent, just some kind of random study of an artist I don't even know. It was just like a drawing and some reference material that I really liked, and I did a quick, ineffectual copy of it just to kind of get it in my brain. I'll copy anything that I like, you know. It's just I think of doing a study, of doing a copy, as just a way to make it easy for me to stare at the reference for like an hour or a half hour. It's like I can't look at it if I'm not drawing, right? I'm not just going to stare at something for a half hour. So I don't really care how the study comes out. It's just a mechanical tool to keep me interested while I let this picture soak into my eyeballs for a half hour or so. Yeah, I forget what it was from. Some old, you know, Beaux Arts era drawing manual. Not the Bard course, a different drawing manual. Not the Bard or the Julienne, one of the lesser known drawing manuals. It had a nice lithograph in it. Just quickly copied that. Love when it comes without a warning, 'cause waiting for it gets so boring. A lot can change in 20 seconds. A lot can happen in the dark. I'm not sentimental, but there's something about the way you look tonight. Makes me wanna take a picture, make a movie with you, then we'd have to hide. You better lock your phone and look at me when you're alone. Hey Steven, what's your favorite art movement? I don't know if I have a favorite. I find almost all of them interesting for different reasons. I think, I mean, I think it'd be hard to say it was anything other than the Renaissance, you know? That's the thing I take the most personal inspiration from. So for personal inspiration, it's probably, yeah, it's probably just the Renaissance. Pretty boring answer. I do think a lot of the crazier stuff is really cool too, like Duchamp's toilet and all of that, just the transition into modernism. I don't think that stuff sucks. I think that stuff is actually really cool. It's easy to look at that urinal and think like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. It's like, yeah, because you live in the modern era that was already influenced by that, and stuff like that seems banal, but you know, you're a coward. Like, you would never have the gall. You can't even share your work on Instagram. You think you'd have the gall to have an art career like Duchamp's and then show up with a urinal? Like, no way. No way. Yeah, I'm on the side that's like, yeah, it was good. It was a good move to do. It was daring. It was ingenious. And, you know, it's easy for you to piss on it now. But, you never could have done that. I love people who say, like, I could have done that. It's like, yeah, but you didn't. Just like you don't do anything else. So shut up. That's not to say that all of it's good, but a lot of the most legendary stuff is actually interesting. Interesting and good. Let's do another sketch. Might switch to a different piece of paper. This one's getting a little full. Hey Steven, I'm so glad to catch your stream. Also love how infectious your passion is. I can't not draw when I see you draw. That's everything I want. You know? That's the whole point. I want you to draw. If my passion is contributing at all to someone drawing, then in some sense my life goal is achieved. I mean, how much more helpful could I really hope to be? Because I really value people's creativity. You know, I really think it matters. Let's use the most inferior color of all. I really think it matters that people be creative. So if I'm contributing to you avoiding the life-destroying artistic constipation of not drawing when you feel like you should be drawing, then yeah, my work's kind of done, you know? It's like I'm fulfilling my life's goal every time that occurs. I don't really got to worry about too much else. Make him a frog now. If it happens naturally, it'll happen naturally. So far, this shape is not promising for frog. Damn, all my markers are running out. I gotta go on a run. I gotta go buy new markers. I went to the art store over the weekend, and the one I was visiting was moving. So I showed up there and everything was empty. I was like, damn it. Couldn't buy anything. I want the art store around the corner to finally open. You know, I want to show up. They're just going to be like, all right, let's see how things go in this market. And I'll walk right in on day one and buy like $5,000 worth of art materials. And they'll be like, I think things are going to be all right. We've got our whale. I'll just point at the whole Copic display rack and I'll be like, yeah, I'll take that. And they'll be like, which one? I'll be like, the whole, give me the whole rack. All right, box it up. Let's go. I ain't got all day. I got streams to do. Gotta let that dry a bit. Oh, so splotchy. I hate you. Alright, we gotta let that dry. Let's see what's up. Let's see what's up. In the heart of the artist. In the heart of the artist, yeah. Let's see what people saying. In my art streams chat. What's up in the heart of the artist? In the heart of the artist, yeah. I had to point away from the microphone for the rock drive on the yeah. Else I'd blow out all your speakers. Copic best markers confirmed. They're pretty good. Ad markers might be the best, but I think they'll kill you. The way ad markers smell really is not acceptable. They're super strong, and you don't get used to it. You smell them the whole time that you use them. I knew a guy back in college, a teacher who taught in transportation design, who had years of using ad markers behind him, and he had a huge thing on his finger there where the markers sit. So, but they might be the best. They do feel very good, and they're extremely saturated. But I like Copics just because I'm super used to them. You know, I'm very used to them. Guys, I gotta run to the restroom because I drank water. I'll be right back. What do you guys want to see? Let's watch Drawing Ascendant while I use the restroom. Who's that, Steven? It's Gamghoul Steven! How you holding up out there, Stave? I'd say considering I'm fighting a Steven who doesn't draw, I'm doing all right, really. Ha! Just try to keep everyone entertained while you try to keep your head. I need more time in Cathar Stevens' palace. I know the god graphite is here. Somewhere in here. If I only knew where. Hey, no rush, man. I got this guy on the ropes. Trust me. Yeah! Lucina Thunder. Dunya Marido. Dunya Nanyanta Da Giata. What? It's Incanthia.
great sword of the Black Fountain. He really does have it.
Yeah, ni troja. Ni tsuyo tufu. Gimya tanta. Ata.
This is a dream of Steven. Steve, are you there?
Steven, you got to the ship. How do you get past the blockades?
Nothing the dream couldn't handle. But they're on me, and we're coming in hot. I'm gonna get you out of there. Do I have clearance to murder some citizen Stevens as I strafe the arena?
Soon, but not yet. Sturvin needs more time in the palace to find the god graphite. If you attack now, all the guards watching my execution will rush back to the palace to secure Cathar Steven. So give him the runaround until I get word from Sturvin. The god graphite. Finally. Oh, it's beautiful. Whoa, yes. Come to Sturvin. Hold on. No need to rush there, little Steven. You and I both know Stave wouldn't want you to get sloppy and spill any of that, would he?
I'm like crying over here from how good I am at art. It's absurd. I was like moved to emotion about how good I am at everything. I mean, Drawing Ascendant is like a genre-defining, extremely popular property. And it's like Sony won't stop emailing me, asking to buy, to option Drawing Ascendant for $700 million. And it's just like, it brings a tear to my eye how spiritually and materialistically successful I am. It's just like so cool. So freaking cool. $700 million hold out for Disney's offer. Yeah, I've been refusing Sony's offers because it's just like they have a bad history of not respecting the things that they option and interpret. So, you know, Marvel's extremely interested. You know, they're like, look, we're gonna run out of Marvel history and lore pretty soon, and we're obviously gonna need something to base the next cinematic universe off of. So they're definitely on the hook. They are on the hook. But I'm sort of playing Marvel / Disney and Sony against each other right now. Just creating a bidding war, artificially inflating prices. And I kind of just like for me personally, it's just like a personal thing. It's just like it has to be more than Star Wars, right? So it's like I have to break the Lucas record. Once they go over that, I'll make the sale. Yeah, it's Chad Shrek for sure. No doubt. No doubt, my little babies. You are all my little babies. I know that you love Shrek. See anything green and you're like, it's Shrek! Oh my god, I love Shrek! It's for you, my little babies. It is for you. I just want you to be happy. It's like you're my babbling little niece. And you're like, Uncle Steven, please draw Shrek. And I'm like, sure thing, absolutely, because I love you. Here's your Shrek. So I watched Grease on Sunday for the first time in quite a few years. Saw it in 4K. You know, when you get it now, it's in full HD, full 4K. You know, it's a remaster, and it's like, wow, it looks different when you can see everything that's going on. I mean, everyone knows the actors are, it's laughable that they tried to get away with making them look like they're in high school when they're all clearly in their late 20s, 30s. Some of them look like they're in their 40s, man. In that movie, it's absolutely absurd. The softness of TV and stuff like that back then certainly hid that. But yeah, it's really egregious in 4K, but everything looks kind of crinkled and dumpy. Also, there is a lot of stuff in that movie that is like, that went over my head. And I've seen Grease while being an adult, but watching it on Sunday, I was like, oh my god, it's a little dark. We'll get some overhead lifters, some 4-barrel quads, oh yeah. Keep talking, whoa, keep talking. A fuel injection cut off and chrome plated rods, oh yeah. I'll get the money, I'll kill to get the money. With new pistons, brakes, and shocks, you can get off the rocks. Well, you know that I am bragging, she's a real dragon wagon. Tears lightning, no. I mean, Grease Lightning is the most famous song, but Beauty School Dropout is the winner. I mean, my god, they blew their budget on Beauty School Dropout. Am I right? I mean, that song is completely irrelevant to the plot. And it's got its own set. It's got a famous singer in it. It's like, where did Beauty School Dropout come from? Beauty School Dropout. No graduation day for you. Beauty School Dropout. Missed your midterms and flunked shampoo. Better forget it. Don't keep your feeble hopes alive. Better regret it. You've got the dream, but not the drive. You can join us, tell a few, turn in your T's and comb and go back to high school. Is that Leogre? Yeah, whatever you think it is, that's what it is. So just share it. Just go on Instagram, share this drawing, say, look everyone, it's Shrek. Go follow Steven. Yeah, whatever you think it is that. If you think this is Shrek, yes, it's Shrek. It's the best Shrek ever. Go share it. If you think this looks like something from Berserk, yes, it's something from Berserk. Go share it. Steven are a Leo? I'm not a Leo. Your miserable little conception of the stars cannot contain me. I am a universe. I contain multitudes. Share it, give it, make it viral. It gives Shrek, etc., etc. Hello, my little pup. Hello, my little pup. Wait, did I feed you? Yes, I did feed you. Hello, how you doing? What's up? Who's a good girl? Who's a good girl? Who's a good girl? Who's got the prettiest ears? Who's got the fanciest tail? Who has the most lovely coloring? Who was born smart, intelligent, wise, and beautiful? Who is shrewd? Who is cunning? Who is talented? It's you. Yes, yes, it's you. Who's a good little pup? Watch out. Watch. Yeah, shake it off. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're a good girl, right? You're a good girl. You're a good girl. Yeah. Go rest, pup. No, I cannot show the dog. She's off now. She's off to rest in her bed. I'll show her if she comes back. All of them look mature and human and understanding somehow. That's beautiful. Yeah, I like to just draw beasties like they're regular people or have complex, nuanced emotions. Just happens automatically that way because I train on real people, so. Love has flown all alone. I sit, I wonder why, oh why you left me, oh Sandy, oh Sandy, baby. Someday when high school is done, somehow, some way, our two worlds will be one. In heaven forever and ever we will be. So please say you'll stay, oh Sandy. You have a beautiful singing voice. It's not that beautiful. You just like it because of my leading man energy. That's all it is. Thank you, Hosanna. Even I would want to know, what would Steven want to be if he was a medieval fictional character? I think I'd be a good wise woman. Like a woman of the town who's like trying to give more useful advice than the ignorant monks about how to fix your body. But she needs to do it extremely carefully so as not to be accused of being a witch. I think I'd be a good wise woman in a medieval town. Someone would come into my shop and be like, the monks told me that because my urine is rusty red, but I'm in a phlegmatic state, that means that I'm gonna die next week. And then I'd put a gentle hand on their shoulder and be like, honey, the monks know a lot, but they don't understand our bodies the way that we do. Why don't you try this? This is an herb that you can find in the forest that should clear up your lingering cough. No problem. But remember, if it works, all praise goes to God. Unexpected answer. Sounds exactly like something a witch would say. You know, we've mentioned it occasionally on this stream, but I'm a master storyteller. I'm a master storyteller. You know, the drawing skills are just like one of my many masteries, and you know, I define a generation. I'm a true Renaissance man. And it's not just, I don't just rely on banal quality. I do new things. I reinvent. And I give the unexpected. Not my words. It's the New York Times words. It's just what my critics say. My positive critics. It's like they're professional critics, but they've got only good things to say. Steven, when is your album coming out? No jokes. I don't know. When I decide I'm done with drawing and I'm just ready to be a platinum recording artist, because you know, if I drop an album, it's going big. It's the only option. Vin Kent says Shrek was my childhood crush and how I discovered I was gay. He's a sexy guy. He's big, he's green. Kind of a like a rough and tumble. Kind of an attitude, but sensitive. Sensitive. What's not hot about that? He's got a lot of things going for him. And he owns property. The more I think about it, there's really not a... Shrek would have done well today. Shrek would have done very well for himself today. Hello, Steven. I love your work. Thank you so much. I'm assuming you're talking about the singing. You probably don't even know that I draw. No! There goes my mouse. I was using it to hold down my paper because my fan keeps blowing it around. Okay, fan, you're pissing me off, so I gotta re-angle you. I need to point it just right so it doesn't blow my paper up, but it still points at my desk. Like an onion, one might say. His album is coming out when you buy the course. You buy the course, you get my album. 18 tracks of Broadway covers, including my barn burner version of Razzle Dazzle from Chicago. Give 'em the old razzle dazzle, razzle dazzle 'em. Give 'em an act with lots of flash in it, and the reaction will be passionate. Give 'em the old hocus pocus, beat and feather 'em. How can they hear the truth above the roar? Roar, roar, roar. Throw 'em a fake and a finagle. They'll never know you're just a bagel. Razzle dazzle 'em, and they'll never catch wise. I gotta finish up this red guy just so that the page is coherent. Back since the days of old Methuselah, everyone loves the big bamboozler. Give 'em the old three-ring circus, fool and fracture 'em. How can they see with sequins in their eyes? Though you are stiffer than a girder, they'll let you get away with murder. Razzle dazzle 'em, and they'll make you a star. You're damn right it gave you goosebumps. It's the quality right here. Leading man energy. And you know what's messed up? You guys are only getting like 70% of my power. Because if I go all out, the microphone can't handle it. Start clipping like crazy. That's me at 70. That's me at 70. I'm pulling my punches there. What's the Atelier method? Please enlighten me. Well, it depends what Atelier you look at. Different ateliers have different methods, but traditionally speaking, the Atelier method is derived from the Beaux Arts Academy in France back in the 1800s, which had, you know, analogs and competitors in places like Russia and Germany. I think so, right? And Europe and things like that. That's where most of the Atelier method is derived from. And yeah, it depends on the atelier, but if you go by the old standbys, if it's based on the French academies and what was necessary to enter things like the Prix de Rome and things like that, then you start with cast drawing, move on to drawing the live figure, and then you begin painting, also in that order. You paint, cast, and then you paint the live figure. And it's all done in studio using shadow boxes and very controlled environments. Thanks, Isam. Nice, Stephen. Great flipping singing, but does one have to learn Atelier methods to be able to render very good like it? Yeah. I personally went to the ateliers. I went to one. I did an intensive summer boot camp at the one that I felt was the best, the most of my taste. That's Grand Central Academy here in New York, which used to be in Grand Central in New York City. Ironically, now it's only like 15 minutes from me in Queens. But I did a summer intensive with them back when I was like 20, I want to say, so about a decade ago. I was very lucky to have some of the best teachers around for that. Joshua LaRock, Colleen Berry, who might be the best living draftsman or something like that. I really liked that class, but you do not need to do it. I took what I could from that. I went in knowing that it wasn't going to be enough. And that I would need to sort of supplement it with the design and imagination, but it is very good information. If you were to, for example, get the course, my views on form and rendering in the course are a distillation of the parts of the Atelier method that I found useful. The main ones being the compression of the light, which I explain in detail in the course and also in Secrets of Shading, and working with a conceptual model instead of an optical model, which of course is necessary when you're working from imagination. That red is just so dark. Let me overexpose my camera a bit so that red looks a little lighter and you can see what I'm doing better. Makes the other ones look bad, but... What artist do you think is the best at drawing the human figure? There is no one answer for that, because it depends on what like interpretation of the human figure you're interested in. Are you looking for the most graceful interpretation of the human figure, which for me, I don't know. Again, it depends. You want more stylized, you want more realistic. I think for realistic, heavy air quotes, graceful, I'd go Sargent. For stylized, Claire Wendling. Or do you want... Are you less about grace that day or in your personal preference and you're looking more for power, for the power of the figure, in which case I'd have to give it to Frazetta. You know, I don't think anyone did the power better than Frazetta. Do you want the rendering, the three-dimensionality of the form, in which case I might give it to Bouguereau or Proudhon, you know, even though Bouguereau, you know, kind of became uninterested in muscular, formy figures, you know. He stuck with the peasant girls after a while, which, you know, I'm in a place to critique Bouguereau, and I say, misstep. Misstep, William. Should have stuck to the Dante and Virgil in hell kind of a stuff. So it just depends what you're looking for, because there's so many different ways to interpret the body, and there's no comparing it apples to apples, you know. It's all apples to oranges. It's personal taste. Out of all of them, the blue one is the most vulnerable, it seems, for sure. He also seems the most inquisitive, you know? Bit of a credulous kind of a character. I bet he'd believe anything you say to him. The blue guy that kind of got to roll up on a adventure camp and be like, oh, hello. I see you have a fire. I'm quite... It's been so cold in these mountains. Very cold. In fact, it's been... cold for as long as I can remember. Would you adventurers mind if I joined you by your fire? Oh, why do you have that sword? Is there some danger? Ah! Are those regular graphite pencils? No, I've done all of these with a black colored pencil. These are the Faber Castell Polychromos black colored pencils. I like these a lot. The problem with them for most people is that they don't, if you want to use the blending stump, they don't really blend. They stay put. So if I don't plan on doing much blending, I like using these. They're just nice and dark. And they stay put. Oh, Steven, how many artistic sides do you have? Like I said, I am a universe. I contain multitudes. Drawing this guy's teeth reminds me that I have to go to the dentist today. I got a dentist appointment. Hadn't been thinking about that while sitting here. So I got to leave for that in about an hour, let's say. So let's keep drawing until then. So hot. It's very hot in the world, people. Had a nice weekend, even though it was very hot. Rested. Ran some errands, did some chores. Got a nice long walk in the blinding heat. Nice weekend. Nice to see some nature. Let's group all that nasty stuff down. Steven, is this a band of goblins trying to fight this yellow dragon? It could be. It certainly could be. Seems maybe we have found that story in the drawing. Just rubbing the same red marker over everything to group down the shadows a little bit. It's just too red, that red marker. Too dark. It's like darker than regular red. It's like a blood red. It's very, very dark. That's the trouble with markers. You can never quite tell how they're going to go down. At least it looks dramatic. All right, well, I'm out of room, but I want to keep sketching, so let me just fix my camera here. Put that away, right on the ground for my dog to walk on. Color is this? It's a little pinkish. This is dying, right? I forget which colors are dying. No, that has some in it. Any tips to make the eyes look similar on both sides? Well, unless you're looking at someone or something directly head on, they're not similar on both sides. I think the more common problem for a beginner artist is that you need to figure out how to get comfortable with the asymmetries there. They're very rarely the same on both sides. I'm gonna go get something. Wait, let's see if this one works. This form 3 could be good if it has juice in it. When it comes to digital, do you prefer pen tablet or screen tablet? It depends on what I'm doing. If I'm painting, I prefer the pen tablet. If I have to draw or do notes or something like that, I prefer the screen tablet. It really depends on the task. Are you playing with random shapes or are the markers a base for the drawing you want to do? I did the random shapes for this sheet. This sheet was all random solid shapes first, and then I just drew into them, edited them, whatever. And then I wasn't really thinking when I sketched that. That I'm just using the marker to draw, really. Just sketching very much the same way that sketching the same way I would sketch with the pencil. And make sure this is in focus. That's not super helpful. On the road again. I can't wait to get on the road again. The thing I love is making music with my friends, and I can't wait to get on the road again. On the road again, like a band of gypsies we go down the highway. We're the best friends, expecting that the world keep turning our way. And our way is on the road again. I can't wait to get on the road again. You've been down every highway, burn your share of bridges, you found forgiveness. You think you're still a young bull rider, till you look in the mirror and see an old timer. I think if goblins listened to music, they'd listen to Willie Nelson. I think everybody would think like, oh yeah, they'll totally listen to like metal or deathcore. And I'm like, nah, it's Willie. It's Willie Nelson. A woman's love grows stronger than the man. What is a subversive comment? A subversive comment is a comment that undermines institutions or established ideas. So something that I shouldn't say on here is that we have handed all of the creative industries over to a managerial class because artists are too cowardly to negotiate and advocate for themselves, and this has produced the downfall of creativity in our society, and it'll never be fixed until artists have the confidence to represent themselves positively. You wouldn't want to say something like that because it's mean to the managerial class, all of the producers and managers and CEOs and the people who make huge amounts of money off of everything that artists make while artists struggle to make ends meet. We wouldn't want to offend the managing class. Have a great day, Boxer Wing. Good luck at the dentist. Thank you. Could there be a bard goblin? Sure, why not? What would a bard goblin sing? Like raunchy songs or something like that? Bard goblin playing country music, yeah. Well, is it possible to make a beautiful goblin? All of my goblins are always handsome, secretly handsome. You could tell in the eyes. It's like, they wouldn't be so hard to love, turns out. They have nice hair and listen to awesome songs, yeah. They just walk around like,
Hey, give me some conditioner. What do you use, Panty Pro V? You like Johnny Cash?
sounds kind of like a... I don't know which one is which, Beavis or Butthead from Beavis and Butthead. Got on my dead man boots and my smiling skull ring, my lucky graveyard boots, and a song to sing. It gets me out of the cold. A goblin with dreams and aspirations. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're gonna have them. They're like,
For the glory of Sauron, so that I can get that promotion in the 401k with the 4% matching contribution.
the industry should give us more goblins to cheer for. Seriously, I mean, they didn't ask to be made. At least not Lord of the Rings Orcs. They didn't ask to get made. I can totally relate. Right? It's like, I didn't ask to be here. I don't know you anything. I'm born for war. It's like, if they're conscious, if there's something it is like to be an Urukai, there's a lot of ethical dilemmas to be addressed. Oh my god. I didn't know Sauron had retirement packages. Well, you know. If the Dark Lord wants to retain excellent talent, you know, he's going to be in competition with other Dark Lords. It's that simple, right? You need incentives. You know, it can't just be baleful eye all the time. You know, it can't just be all the time. You know, people got to choose the baleful eye. They got to be like, yeah, baleful eye is pretty good. Pretty good deal. He's already got, he's already got problems with, like, surveillance, you know? I see you, and et cetera, et cetera. Melkor is the Darker Lord. It's like, look, you know, there's only one Dark, you know, and there's a lot of people claiming to be the Lord of the Dark. So it's like competition, you know. Capitalism is going to take effect, you know. There's going to be one Dark Lord to which most of the benefits and accolades accrue, and the rest are going to be competing for scraps. Steven, are there any resources you would recommend to somebody with severe same body syndrome, like an Earth's World for Bodies? Sadly, I can't go to live drawing these days. That's a tough one. I mean, there's no good thing for that. The one I can always think of off the top of my head is, and someone in the chat I'm sure can link it, there's a famous coffee table photo book of lineups of Olympians, just they're in their underwear, they're just showing their physiques. That's the best resource I've ever seen on that. I don't own a copy, but I've looked through it many times at bookstores and friends who owned copies. And you can find a lot of the shots online as well. But that's a good resource for that. It might just be called Olympian. I forget though. Someone in chat knows what it is. Great book. Steven, do you play video games? And if you do you like God of War? I have played the new God of War. Yes, I do play video games. I just do it on and off. I only play when there's something I really want to play. I don't really have like right now I haven't played video games in months. Probably since March. Is that goblin carrying a baylet? No. Could be. But I was just imagining a head of someone he had decapitated. Maybe someone who fooled him into a bad investment or something like that.
That was a subprime mortgage you locked me into. I had to default on my debt, you know. They took my home. You said it would cost me nothing. Because everything I put into my home would be a tax write-off.
No one steal my Goblin, boys. That's patent pending. You can steal my drawings all you want, but don't steal my Goblin, boys. I know it comes naturally to you, but could you design a character facing off these goblins? I would need to do like a composition to do that. Besides, do I really want to draw some brave warrior? Ugh. So dry. Let me guess. Son of some down on his luck village upright who turned out to be more than you expected. Perhaps a hidden bloodline or something like that. Oh yes, some magical helper told you that you were the chosen one, but you had the good humility to deny it at first. No, you would need to wait some appropriate amount of time for your acts of bravery to prove even to you that you were up to the task. So very interesting. What about an equally lowly goblin status character rising up? Now that's better. Sensing some irony? Friend. My boredom with heroes is out in the open. Heroes hit my dog. Curse those heroes. Yeah, athlete, body type book. That's a good book for seeing at a glance and in comparison, which is always useful, just how different body types can be when they're sort of at the peak of performance. It's really a good reminder that the typically attractive body types are just one body type, and you know, you may not want to admit it, but this is what peak performance looks like, etc., etc. Imagine a 2-second animation of this goblin with this drawing quality. Ooh, it'd still be, that'd be what, 48 drawings like this. It's quite a bit. I do not animate. I do storyboards and animatics and stuff like that, but I've never been like an animator. I've tried it a long time ago in the past, but I've never done it seriously. Steven, hello. Hi, Lack. What's up? Steven, do you read books? Yeah. If you do, what's your favorite, fictional or non-fictional? I don't know if I have a favorite. I think like most people, my favorites are tied up with nostalgia. Like the books that I would list as my favorites, I can acknowledge that I've read better books than them in the intervening years, but you know, the stuff that you love at a certain age, like nothing ever hits quite the same, except for like the really, really good stuff. So I don't know, if I had to pick favorites, it's all by different genre and stuff like that. For fantasy, probably my favorite fantasy is King Killer Chronicle, Name of the Wind, and Wise Man's Fear are the two books that are out of that for that now. We'll see how it ends. A Song of Ice and Fire is definitely up there, but I'm having struggles with it because of what the show did and the fact that it seems likely that they will never be done. The books will never be done. So they used to be my very top number one, and these days I feel a lot of conflicting emotions about Song of Ice and Fire. For sci-fi, probably the best sci-fi I've ever read is Three Body Problem, and the rest of the, I forget the name of the trilogy, the official name of the trilogy, Remembrances of Earth's Past. It's probably the best I've ever read, but my favorites are actually books that I would consider to be like, you know, bad sci-fi that I read back in my youth, you know? I mean, it's not bad, it's just like not as good, but they just hold a special place in my heart. I love Alistair Reynolds for sci-fi. He's a great mix of, he's a good writer. He's a good writer. It's good stuff, but it's like, you can just, like, it's okay if you tune out, you know? He's great to listen to while working, because I don't really feel the need to, like, rewind and catch up and things like that. It may have sounded disparaging, but I really got to emphasize again, like, I love him. Like, I really love Alistair Reynolds. I've consumed a huge amount of his books. I just barely remember them. I love how people talk about Song of Ice and Fire as if it was made to personally insult them. I mean, it's a sign of a work well made, man. It's like, the fact that people can take it personally means that there's really something magical there. And I don't take any, there's no other product I take personally like that. I really don't care I don't really care what happens with people's stories. You know, I don't get bent out of shape about stuff like that. But Song of Ice and Fire leaps up. It breaks the rule even for me. I'm just like, God damn it. Because it's just, you know, I mean, that to me, that's proof that it's just like, he made something very special. I think it's, there's really nothing like it. The problem is, will it ever be done? You know, I hope Brandon Sanderson is working hard on it already. I hope Brandon Sanderson has some good ideas for how he's going to finish Song of Ice and Fire. With the superpower of extreme goblin luck, Mort Spandex collects the heads of many western knights and soldiers that came across his way on his quest to avenge his family from the sadistic prince. Mort Spandex. There you have it, folks. You heard it here first. Did you ever read manga like Berserk? The games like Bloodborne or Souls games are heavily inspired by it. I don't really read manga. I have read Berserk just because I get it as such a common comment. I forgot again. I used to have it as in the stream description. The top line on the stream description used to just say, yes, I've read Berserk. I haven't read all of it, but I've read a bunch of it. I'm not really into manga or anime. It's just not my thing. I don't really read comics. They just take too long. Take too long to read. I like listening to audiobooks because I can work and listen at the same time. Ever read Malazan? Nope. Last fiction book I read was Interview with the Vampire. Actually, I haven't finished it yet. I'm right at the end, I just have a little bit left to go. I thought Interview with the Vampire, the book version, was great. Love the philosophical stuff that's in there. I also love the format. Such a cool format, you know? The interviewing format. Interview with the Vampire and The Name of the Wind are the only two books I've read that are like that. I think because I love Name of the Wind, which is interview format. I think Interview with the Vampire sort of clicked into that nostalgic feeling for me.
I'm gonna crack this whole neck.
We got about 15 minutes left in stream before I got to run to my dentist appointment. So if anyone's got any questions, or if they want to excoriate me for some reason, now would be the time. Do you mostly read through audiobooks or physical ones? I do a bit of both. When I'm really busy, it's audiobooks, you know. I love reading just regular, just a book, but you can't do anything else while you do it, which is the good thing and the bad thing. The physical book I'm reading right now is Powers and Thrones by Dan Jones, a new history of the medieval period. That's the physical book that I'm reading. So I mix it up. Favorite time to read? In the morning. If I'm reading a physical book, in the morning is my favorite time. And if I'm reading with an audiobook, then all day. Just read all day. It's just constantly playing while I do my work. Thanks for the stream, Stephen. I'm charged up to draw today. Happy to contribute. Happy to contribute to the charge, to the powwow, to the drawing powwow. Ooh, you gotta get on the drawing powwow. Ooh, you gotta soak up the drawing power from that Stephen stream. Yeah. What is that pencil called? It does such dark lines with the lightest of strokes. This is the Faber Castell Polychromos Black. It's just a black colored pencil. And I like the Faber Castell ones because they're less waxy than like Prismacolors and stuff like that. Ooh, you get on the stream. Ooh, you check out the drawings, then you're feeling so charged up, then you go and draw. Ooh, you get on the stream. Steven's a part of his incredible streams. Nobody can believe how freaking good he is. Ever read Sanderson's Mistborn series? Yes, very good. Quite good, I thought. Definitely, definitely up there for like at least for me, like most elaborate but clearly presented magic system. It's like Name of the Wind's magic system is really creative and cool, but it's sort of like purposefully a little bit unclear, I think, so that you can never quite guess what Kvoth is going to do. But yeah, the Mistborn magic is like so It's like the rules are so razor sharp, you know? There's a, you know, he keeps certain things surprises, but just like he really stuck to his own rules on that one, and he just like designed it so that there was so many things that could be done with it. You know what I'm saying. If you've read Mistborn, you know what I mean. Do you have a painting? Do you have an oil painting handy to show us? No, I do not. Unfortunately. All of my oil paintings are stacked up in a closet somewhere in my mom's house. They just take up too much room. I haven't done much oil painting since I moved from California, so it's probably been 5 or 6 years since I've done an oil painting. I have my oils here. I have some oil paints and my pochade box that I used to go paint outside with. It's all here, but I don't have any of my paintings. Most of the painting I've been doing over the past few years, I do watercolors, a little bit of gouache, casein. That's what I've been doing more of. But even that, it's been a bit. I've been going through a period of my life where I'm like really focusing on my drawing and my pencils. It's just very important to me to have a really strong grasp on form, and I just fall into that more easily with pencils than I do paint. But there's a season for everything in life. Then I'm sure the urge to paint will return soon enough. Stephen, is there hope? There is hope. There really is hope. Even in severe cases like this, there is hope. I can recommend an experimental therapy called Form from Imagination. Come on, Steve, whip up an oil painting in 3 hours on stream. Don't be selfish. Don't be selfish now. No, is it? Don't be stingy now. Cyanide says, am I good at art yet? If you have to ask. Stevie baby, you're the one. You and me are gonna have a lot of fun. Stevie baby, you're the one for me, but Stephen, have you ever been interested in the artwork and or philosophy of Francis Bacon? I've seen Francis Bacon's paintings, which are cool. I don't know anything about his philosophy. Is his philosophy screaming? That the world is a scintillating kaleidoscope of horrors through which we temporarily traverse by the skin of our teeth? Is his philosophy that he gets the course? He probably gets the course. Probably gets the course. Pedro says, I love you, Steven. I know. Gojira says, do you ever overwork drawings? That's completely impossible for me to do that because of how good I am. My unearthly skill makes it a complete impossibility for me to overwork a drawing. Even if a drawing threatened to become overworked, I could command it to underwork itself. And then the work-edom would be in perfect balance. What's drawing with pen like? It's like being elected president of the United States of America and standing up at a podium with arms raised as the crowd roars before you. That's what it's like, drawing with pen. And you will never experience this because you can't afford a pen. On the road again. I can't wait to get on the road again. The thing I love is making music with my friends, and I can't wait to get on the road again. On the road again. Like a band of gypsies we go down the highway. We're the best of friends. Oh, hi puppy. I know, you love it when I sing. I know. You always come say hi when I sing, don't you? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. All right, I said I'd... Come on, upbeat. No, she doesn't want it. Come here. Come here. I'm not mad at you. No, you don't understand straight. They want to see you. Okay, you see now. Okay, there she is. Don't look at me like that. Yeah, you're live on the internet. There's a bunch of people watching you. I know. I know, you don't like coming up here. She's like, why am I here? She's like, I like being down there, saying hello down there. What have you been up to? Just like sleeping? Who's your good girl? Who's your good girl? Look at me. Stop licking. Alright, get out of here. Ugh. I got nothing for you. Oh, yeah, I see why you're here. Because I was singing and it's time for your lunchtime treat, eh? Alright, give me 3 minutes. 3 minutes. On the road again. Alright. I'm going to say goodbye, everybody. I gotta go run to the dentist. maybe I will be on later. Well, how did we? 3.5 hours. I mean, come back to me. Decent session, but I will probably draw later in the day, but I'm not sure I will stream it. Or go do feedback for the course and things like that once I'm back from the dentist. So that's what we drew today. A couple random blob faces. Little goblin character there. So I will see you guys on, I'm doing 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I'll probably see you guys on Wednesday and we'll stream again. And, but I don't know. I mean, come tomorrow, maybe I just want to chat while I draw. I'll stream tomorrow too. But for now, we'll plan on Wednesday. Goodbye, Corgi. Goodbye, Mitchell. Goodbye, Nick Ravioli. Goodbye, Cyan Knights. Goodbye, Mod Gaming. Goodbye, Corgi Scarab. How can I fit all of this on screen at once? I'll kind of do it. I need to position it so I can make this the thumbnail later. Something like that. Goodbye, Falls. Goodbye, Zemi. Goodbye, Kitworthy. Goodbye, Lindsay Jonkers. Goodbye, Samuel. Goodbye, Project Angryman. Bye, Joseph. Bye, Itadaki. Bye, Jeffrey. Bye, Corey. Bye, Rappy. Goodbye, Amy's Art. Goodbye, Sam Uel. Goodbye, Abhi Vyakti. No good with names like that, I'm sorry. Abhi Vyakti. Goodbye, Yoga. Goodbye, Zymon. Zymon Sawinski. Can't do those names either. Is that Polish? I'm bad at those. Goodbye, everyone. See you soon. And if you're drawing, goodbye, Gemmel. Good luck with your drawing today. Good luck with all of your endeavors today. I hope that drawing treats you peacefully. And if you find drawing is a struggle or tries to spit you out, I hope that you have the presence of mind, serenity, and self-control to accept what is coming your way and to not suffer through it. Don't worry. If you are a creative person and you feel the need, the desire, the want to draw, you win every time you do it. The big mistake, the big error is not allowing your creativity to flow. It doesn't matter how it comes out or what the final product is. The problem is that if you allow things in life or what you expect people will think about your art, etc., to keep you from being creative, it will rot you from the inside out. It will hurt your soul, and you don't want that to happen. You just let it flow. And I truly believe that if you let it flow peacefully, the rest will handle itself eventually. It really, really will. You're going to be fine. Also, you get the course. You get the course. You click the link in the description, www.formfromimagination.com, and you get the course. You get it. You learn about form and how to make it up from the mind. You get the course. You get the course. I don't know, what is this? Some pitch in my face. You treat me like a baby. You get the course. All right. I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. Bye, Indra. Bye, Arctic Monkey. Bye, Marcus. You just got here. It's a shame. It's a shame. Bye, Hosanna. Bye, Sarah. All right, bye, everybody. I'm going to cut out. I got to roll.